evening and welcome to another Malcat Gin review. Tonight, very excited, I've been waiting to review this one for a while. This is Dr Beak Gin from Martinborough. Martinborough, for those who don't know, is a small wine growing region in the southern Wairarapa, about an hour's drive north of Wellington. Dr Beak is a husband and wife team, mostly run by Lacey, who is a health science graduate who decided to apply their education to the production of gin. We fully support and endorse that approach. And supported by her husband Tim, who is a winemaker, so has that experience. Let's see, they are what we would refer to as gin producers, not gin distillers. It is fully their recipe, and they have sourced all the botanicals locally in New Zealand, except for one, that being juniper, which we still aren't producing our own juniper yet. But they contract out the distilling of their gin to Elemental Distillers in Marlborough. Elemental, if you're not familiar with, are the producers of Roots Gin, who we have reviewed at least one of their gins. What else? So they are environmentally friendly. They're looking at protecting the environment, and 5% of the profits from this gin go to Forest and Bird for their efforts in protecting our native fauna. Getting that right around.
Fauna and flora and bird.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, that's Dr Beak.
So they're quite a small batch distillery, and each bottle is only 500 ml. I really like the bottle itself. It's dark, which means that the alcohol is better kept if it's near a light source. It's a whopping 48% ABV, which is quite big. It is a pricey gin, but they actually, because they use quite a few botanicals, and I think they put a lot of effort into this one, and the quality of the material that has, and obviously the level of the alcohol, that lifts the price. Since then, they have produced another gin, which we will get a bottle of and try that. Yes. But this is their premium gin.
Now, it did occur to me that the design of the bottle is somewhat like a chemical bottle that you might find in a lab.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's deliberate with a doctor.
Yeah. I did wonder whether it should actually be called the winemaker's wife gin.
Actually, just an aside on the botanicals, we talked about there not being any juniper produced in New Zealand. I understand that they have now planted a juniper shrubbery and are attempting to grow their own juniper. Now, I reckon Martinborough could be a really good location for that, being winemaking country and quite dry, sort of replicating the Mediterranean climate that juniper familiar with.
Yeah, well, because the junipers they use at the moment are from Macedonia, which is the predominant origin of most of the juniper used in New Zealand.
Yep.
Botanicals. So there are 13 blended botanicals. There is lime, lavender, bay leaf, rosemary, thyme, mint, wild horopito, orris root, lemon verbena, and organic giant kelp and coriander seed. And the other one was chamomile, which is quite an interesting one in tea.
Yeah.
In gin, because when I think of chamomile, I think of tea. Yeah, bedtime tea.
So this is going to be interesting. There's lots of flavours in there. Hopefully not too many and not competing. I'm really interested to give this one a try, so let's have a bit of a nose.
I've been smelling it from here and it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So straight off the bat, there's really strong juniper nose to it. So one of the things they did say is that they soak the juniper and the alcohol for 48 hours before distilling, so that's going to really give it that strong juniper. I'm getting floral hints. That's probably lavender. I'm getting the hint of the Horopito coming through. So, oh yeah. So when you taste it, that Horopito cuts through. You get that pepper. Juniper's has a peppery element to it itself, but the Horopito adds to that. There's floral notes, and the citrus cuts through as well. That's quite lovely.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's very Horopito, very juniper on the nose, and lavender and citrus, and then Horopito on.
It's interesting because you get the bite of the Horopito, and then the aftertaste is quite floral from the lavender, especially. That's actually really smooth straight up. I was expecting, because it's 48%, to be quite harsh and boozy, but it's actually really smooth just to sip it straight. I certainly wouldn't put it past someone just having a glass of that, a couple of cubes of ice in there and just sipping on it. That'd be quite lovely.
I don't remember this one being at the wine bank, but the wine bank in Martinborough, you can actually get a flight or tasting tray of the different gins, but I think from memory they were mainly doing Lighthouse and Read and Read, and Lighthouse is quite mass produced because it's owned by Bill Foley owns Tikaranga.
Yeah, just in case you're interested, Martinborough is becoming this little hive of gin production. Read and Read have their new distillery and visitor centre out there.
My cousins.
Yep.
Very clever.
Lighthouse have their distillery out there, and we've got Dr Beak as well. From memory, I thought they didn't have the Dr Beak on the tasting flight, but they had it in.
We got it from.
I mean, in the wine bank.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we bought this through the Martinborough Wine Merchant, which is
shout out to you guys.
A shout out to mate Tanya. It's really nice to go over there. Everybody's so warm and friendly, and it's a nice little village. Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, so it's interesting. It's quite intense. I think there's quite a few oils in here because with the tonic in there, it's actually quite cloudy.
Cloudy.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's toned it down a lot.
It has, but it's still getting the same sort of Horopito up front, and then florals and citrus. Yeah, that's lovely. There's lots going on in there, but it is quite a complex flavour. But that's lovely. Yeah.
There's the technical term. It's lovely. Yeah.
Choice. Dinners are winners.